In the news this week, One Nation WA leader made his case following the exit of party member Charles Smith.
History made in the WA Liberal Party with Liza Harvey elected unopposed as new leader.
Unemployment is worsening with the number of youths at work at 14.5%.
Plus high school art shown in this year's Outlaw Youth Awards in Melville.
This is the Evening News with Ivan Leung and Danielle Staniskov.
Good evening. After Upper House MP Charles Smith suddenly quit One Nation in Western Australia, State Leader Colin Tignor has defended the party's achievements in protecting local jobs and holding the government accountable. He also hit back, saying Mr Smith is not a team player. Helene Fong begins our coverage.
It's a surprise quitting One Nation WA didn't see coming. Charles Smith has quit the party and stands as an independent member at the Upper House, citing the reason as leadership frustration. During a special interview, One Nation WA leader Colin Tignor rejected the accusations.
We've had shared goals and aspirations for the future, but he never wanted to be a team player. So, you know, when it says to that, it's a shame. He wanted to go his own way. Well, now he's got the opportunity to do that. Obviously, he's got to blame someone. He's a sort of childlike in the way he acts. He likes to blame someone for his own shortcomings.
Mr Tignor then defended the party's achievements and says they fought for the average family by focusing on state issues.
When you look at the gold tax, we saved 3,000 miners, West Australian miners, their jobs. When you look at the lobster industry, there's possibly thousands to 1,500 odd workers that their jobs could have been at threat.
Moving on from the shock split, Colin laid out the next set of priorities, including reform to family laws, cut payroll tax, reduce stamp duty, cost of living, and more.
We are united. The thing, we're always going to be debating all issues. That's the promise we made to the people of WA.
The split this week means the state government will have to convince some crossbenchers who hold the balance of power at the Upper House in an attempt to pass any bills or legislations. Helene Fong, WAMN News.
The Liberal Party in Western Australia has made history with Liza Harvey becoming the party's first female leader. She was elected unopposed following the resignation of former leader Mike Nahan this week. Andrew Fuster examines whether this change will increase the party's appeal to young voters.
Liza Harvey is a change with historic significance. Ms Harvey took over the top job in the WA Liberal Party, a feat no woman has achieved before.
With your indulgence, I advise the House that earlier today I was elected unopposed as leader of the Parliamentary Liberal Party.
Ms Harvey has made the focus of her leadership lowering the pressure on households and small businesses.
Now, the government's spending money in all sorts of areas, but there's nothing there for relief for household fees and charges and for relief for small businesses. There was nothing.
Although this is a historic move for the WA Liberal Party, experts say it is still too early to tell whether this will give them an advantage.
I think that's very difficult. I mean, in terms of balancing the budget, addressing the sort of economic situation that Western Australia's found itself in, it's very hard not to do that through increasing those sorts of charges.
Ms Harvey believes that the leadership speculation that haunted Mr Nahan's leadership of the Liberals, including accusations of being a bench warmer, is going to end.
I'm confident the party's united behind me. I was elected unopposed and during the discussions around leadership, nobody else was putting their name forward.
The new front bench is still being finalised and is expected to be announced within the next few days. Andrew Fuster, WAMN News.
There are calls for the state government to take action following an announcement showing that unemployment figures in Western Australia are worsening, with 7,000 less jobs on a monthly basis. The youth unemployment rate in Western Australia is 14.5%, higher than a national average of 11.2%. This news comes despite a national trend towards stability and even growth in some states. CEO of Youth Futures WA, Mark Wade, said that successive governments have failed the youths of Australia.
There's a big reality check that needs to happen in regards to what a young person thinks real work and full-time employment is to what it really is and what it really means. The difference in dealing with teachers and being treated like a kid at school as opposed to going into workforce and being an adult and being responsible for various things. So I think there definitely needs to be a significant amount of support for young people in that transition period.
End of financial year is fast approaching, and WA taxpayers should be aware of tax-related scam attempts which are expected to increase over the next 6 months. In the 12 months to the end of May 2019, there were 43 tax scam reports to Consumer Protection, involving a total loss of $205,250, which is a substantial increase on previous years. The department advised the public to hang up if they get one of these calls and not to be intimidated by the bullying tactics by scammers.
What we're asking is the younger generation who are computer savvy to have these conversations with their parents or grandparents or whatever, raise the subject, raise the issue, and say to them that if you do get any text messages or you do get any calls, particularly if they get text messages, then don't open anything up, don't click on anything.
Councillors at Port Hedland Council are at risk of being disciplined unless they put their case forward in 21 days on why they shouldn't be suspended. Local Government Minister David Templeman met with councillors to explain the show cause notice and process. If the suspension goes ahead, it will last for 6 months, meaning councillors will have to undergo training. The suspension will also mean scheduled elections in October this year will not take place. Instead, an extraordinary election will be held to elect members to the vacant positions.
Dramatic footage has emerged from Hong Kong showing police using tear gas and rubber bullets against the protesters. The protests, which saw more than 1 million people gather in the Hong Kong CBD, were sparked by changes to extradition law. The changes could allow people from Hong Kong to be extradited and sent to mainland China for trial. 72 people hospitalised, including 2 with serious injuries as a result of the protest. The front-runner of the new Conservative leader, Boris Johnson, vows to deliver Brexit by October 31st this year, with or without a deal. It's understood Mr Johnson has secured 114 votes out of 313 during a secret ballot this week. 3 leadership contenders have been eliminated from the race so far, with only 7 candidates left to be chosen. The winner will be announced on the 21st of July.
Talented youth high school students are showcasing their imagination and interpretation of the world around them as they are recognized for their artwork in a youth exhibition. Students from Year 7 to 12 are displaying their work during the Atwell Youth Awards, acknowledging their creativity in the now 17th annual event. The exhibition has been giving WA high school students in the area an opportunity to exhibit their work at the Atwell Arts Centre and Gallery. This year's exhibition has taken volunteers 2 days to prepare after people working at the Arts Centre pulled the awards together during the year.
I think there's always a few iconic pieces every exhibition that really make a statement. It's always a wow factor, and it doesn't matter who walks through the door, they're always totally amazed, and especially when you start telling them the age groups of the students that have actually produced the work.
And that's our news for this week. We have the latest on our website and Facebook page.
Until next Sunday after 8, good evening.
Good night.